Going into the winter 2018 anime season, there were two series that were being hyped up as potential anime of the season or even year contenders. Those two were Violet Evergarden and Darling in the Franxx. While I've enjoyed Violet Evergarden, I want to be talking about my favorite show that started airing this anime season, which is Darling in the Franxx. Darling in the Franxx is being produced by both A1 Pictures and Trigger. Now, with Trigger shows, people usually get extremely hyped because of their generally great track record with shows. They've created shows such as Kill la Kill, Little Witch Academia, and Space Patrol Luluko. All those shows are pretty great and highly regarded shows. The only big criticized show they've released was Kisniver, but I believe that it was still an overall good show, but just wasn't on the same level as the other shows they've produced. With A1 Picture shows, their shows are a bit more hit or miss. They've produced some great shows such as Anohana, Your Lie in April, Space Brothers, and Erase. However, they've had their fair share of shows that missed the mark, such as Sword Art Online, Gate, and The Asterisk War. This inconsistency is the reason why that there are a lot of caution and skepticism going into Darling in the Franxx. After watching the first 4 episodes of Darling in the Franxx, I can say that this show both lives up to the hype, but at the same time I recognize that it isn't for everyone. Firstly, I want to be talking about why the show isn't for everyone. One reason is the huge cast of characters. There are essentially 10 characters in the squad that we constantly follow, and the show is going to have some trouble giving appropriate screen time to flesh out each of the characters. So far, they've only focused on Hiro, Code Zero 02, and Ichigo, with others sort of being in the background. I doubt each of the 10 main characters will get enough time for us to get fully invested in them. This means that if some were to die, then it wouldn't be on the same level of impact than a character who we get fully fleshed out and invested into. Another reason some people may be turned off by the show is because of the way the mechs, which are called Franxx, are piloted. The show isn't trying to be very subtle about what piloting mech symbolizes. I mean, just take a look at a few of these screenshots. Just look at them. So I can definitely see how this can turn people away from the show. But this is a Trigger show, so we should expect this level of absurdity. This is something I love about not only this specific show, but also all shows Trigger produce. We have Kill la Kill, where literally Ryuko and Stitchki become more powerful with less clothes. We have Infernal Cop, which is like something high school students would have produced for fun. The level of crazy absurdity is a charm I and many others have come to love about Trigger, but this is something I can see not all people liking. Now I'm going to be talking about a few reasons why I've enjoyed Starling and the Franxx so much. First of all, it's the mysterious world that the story takes place in. There are so many mysterious things going on, and I want to learn more about. What is the council type of government system that seems to be controlling humanity? Who is this father that the children keep referring to? What is outside of the enclosed environment where we see our characters is in? What is so special about Hero that the council keeps bringing up? What are these Calaxosaur monsters, and why do they keep attacking civilization? There's just so much I want to know about this setting, and it keeps me itching for more. Next, I want to talk about how great Zero Two is. Just 4 episodes in, and she can already be considered not only best girl of the show and season, but also the whole year. Her character design is very attractive. Great costumes, great facial expressions, and is just overall attractive. Her personality is amazing too. She has some sort of a mix between human and Cloxosaur. Whenever she pilots somebody in a Franxx, they only have at most 3 flights before they end up dying. This causes her to be viewed as a monster by the rest of society. However, our boy Hero really doesn't care about that, and sees her as a sort of savior because he wasn't able to pilot a Franxx with anybody else before, but when Zero Two comes along, he's been able to pilot twice with her without getting injured like the rest of her co-pilots. Seeing her to be genuinely happy and ecstatic to be with someone who isn't afraid of her and think of her as a monster just warms my heart. She calls Hero her darling, and is constantly clinging on to Hero and insists she will only ride with him. She performs a sort of ballroom dance hold to get Hero past security doors that he would otherwise not be able to get past, disobeys orders from the government to pilot with Hero, and is all around just goofy and happy with Hero, and I just can't help but smile and want to protect it. Her goofy side is great to see, such as how she will go up and look other people in the face, and based on what she tastes determines if she likes them. She eats like a raw steak just covered in honey, which was a pretty great and hilarious scene. She is just all around best girl. I do want to learn more about her backstory though, and what the deal is with her being part Galactosaur and part human, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Another reason I enjoy this series is because of how great the mecha designs are. All four of them feel unique, and it isn't a design you would normally expect a mech to be. They are kind of in the shape of girls' bodies and they do look fantastic. The design complements the personalities and characters piloting the Franxx. From Miku and Zorumi's jumpy stripy legs, light mech body, and claws matching their feisty and energetic personalities, to Futoshi and Kokoro, big sturdy mech body, large gun and heavy winter-like clothes matching their quiet but reliable personalities. The Frank designs fit perfectly with their pilots. In conclusion, Darling in the Franxx isn't a show for everybody. Some of the characters are pretty bland and fit some of the standard tropes. So far, the story has been a lot of world building and drama, with less action, so some people might not enjoy that. There's a lot of fan service, and the show can be a bit absurd at times, such as how they pilot the Franks. But if you're like me, and that touch of insanity Trigger provides is something you enjoy, those negative views people have on the show are actually things that enhance your experience. However, there's a lot of other things I enjoy about the series, and it helps me keep invested in the show. An interesting and mysterious story has grabbed my attention and makes me look forward to each week to see if we learn anything new. The character and especially Frank designs are fantastic and has definitely convinced me to buy merch from the show. And finally, Code Zero 2 has been one of the most fun and unique characters I've seen, and her abundance of screen time alone will help me keep watching the show because of how much I love her character. This is why I've enjoyed Darling and Frank so much. Leave a comment on what you think of the show so far, and if there's another show you would like me to talk about. I've also made a Twitter and will leave that in the description. Thank you all for watching.